Everyone, and welcome to A4's March Town Hall. I'm Lisa Gold, A4's Executive Director. A quick accessibility check. I am a Hapa, half Korean, half white woman with dark hair pulled up in a bun, wearing a white t-shirt with a picture of Connie Chung on it. And for those of you who are Town Hall regulars, we'll be happy to know that my dog Maka is right here, and she'll probably make an appearance later this evening. I'm so grateful to all of our presenters and to all of you for joining us tonight to learn about the incredible people and their efforts to keep the performing arts and artists visible and viable and so vital in New York. The last time we held a town hall, which was January, we were celebrating the election of our first vice president of South Asian descent. And now, only 2 months later, I am deep processing the loss of 6 women of Asian heritage gunned down in a senseless act of misogyny and terror. But it is precisely in times like these that we need to come together to remind ourselves that we are part of a supportive community and we need to show care for each other. So thank you for being here and for showing up. I want to highlight 2 efforts being organized for a National Day of Action to Stop Asian Hate on March 26th. The first event is being promoted by APIA congressional leaders, including our own powerhouse, Grace Meng, and they're asking you to post statements supporting APA communities on social media using the hashtag Stop Asian Hate. I will drop the link in the chat so that you can have access to more information and the toolkit. Oh, thank you, somebody's already done that. And the second action is by a group called Stand With Asians, and their URL is standwithasians.com, and that's also on the 26th. And the National Pacific American Women's Forum, they are holding an anti-AAPI violence processing circle tomorrow on Thursday at 6 p.m. And they're also hosting a national conversation on race and gender on Thursday, the 25th, with Representative Grace Meng, again, Ai-jen Poo, who is the director of the National Domestic Workers Alliance. She's amazing, MacArthur Fellow, just a tireless advocate, and Sunyoung Chaimoro, who is NAPOF's executive director. So we can drop links into the chat for those events too. So if you are interested, you can learn more about and attend those events. So let me do that right now so you have that information. Let's see. Okay, so back to the regular A4 business. So for those of you who are familiar with A4, you know that we're dedicated to ensuring greater representation, equity, and opportunities for Asian American artists and cultural organizations through resource sharing, promotion, and community building. And Town Hall is one of our signature programs that helps us fulfill that mission. So I'm kind of curious who has been to an A4 event or town hall before. Anybody can, oh yeah, a couple of hands raised. Georges, I know you've been. Great.
Yes,
Nice to see that. So for those of you who haven't, I'm just going to share a few protocols and announcements before we start. So I'm going to ask you to please mute yourself if you aren't speaking. Also let you know that we are recording this town hall for sharing on our YouTube channel. We'll be posting it later. If you have questions, feel free to send us a link or send us a message in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and we'll try to get it, but we have a lot of people, so it's usually easier just to send us a message via chat. Also, we have closed captions available via Rev, so if you'd like to enable your captions, you should see a CC icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen menu, and you can, it says live transcript below it, so just click on that icon to enable the captions. Okay, and so here's how tonight is gonna roll. We have 2 featured presenters and 2 groups of short pitches which will be 1 minute in length. So you, for you pitchers, 1 minute, you will hear a bell at the end of 1 minute, and I hate to do it, but I will mute you if you go over your time. So after our first featured presenter, I'll call the names for the people giving short pitches, and your name will appear in order in the chat box. So please be ready to go when your name is called, and we will repeat the process after the second presenter. So I'm going to try very hard to pronounce your names correctly. Please forgive me if I mess that up. I'm trying. And then after everyone who has pre-registered to make a short pitch, I'll ask if anybody else would like to pitch. You have 30 seconds for a final round of micro pitches. You can raise your hand using the Zoom function, raise hand. And if you don't know how to do that, you can, again, message us in the chat box. And then we'll list the names in order of the people, and I'll call your name for people that would like to do 30-second pitches. And also, if you are doing a 30-second pitch, please write your social media handle or your website in the chat box. And then afterwards, we'll have a few breakout rooms for conversations so people can follow up about projects that they've learned about, to learn more, or introduce yourself, ask questions. And if you want to switch your breakout room, just message me and I'll move you to a new room. Okay, so now quick announcements and land acknowledgement. First off, I want to thank our small but mighty team here at A4, Priscilla Sun, our Programs and Communications Manager, and Teresa Vu, who is our CUNY Cultural Core intern, for their efforts, always making things run smoothly despite my best efforts. And then also, I'm noting that we are recording and we're going to post the event for all eternity on our YouTube channel. So please keep your cameras on. If you don't want to be recorded, it's okay to shut your camera off, but we love to see your faces. If you want to share anything that's happening tonight, live tweet, use the hashtag A4Townhall, and feel free to tag us. Very importantly, please do us a favor and fill out a post-event survey. We are always trying to improve and shape our programs to be more relevant to your needs. So let us know. Your input really matters. And if you'd like to be a featured presenter for a future town hall, or know someone who might, or have program ideas, whatever, feel free to fill out your form. And we will share the link in the chat box and also send it to you after the event. Also, we're hiring. Come work with us. We are looking for a full-time development manager. I can also drop the position description in the chat box, so you can apply or learn more, or all of the above. So consider it, share it. Okay, and now just a few, actually quite a few upcoming events that I'd like to share with you. On Tuesday, April 13th, we're going to be presenting a conversation with Christopher Ho and Daisy Nam, who are editors of Best Letters from Asian Americans in the Arts, which is a collection of 73 letters written in 2020, which capture an unprecedented moment in our collective history through the experiences of Asian American artists, curators, educators, and more. And they are going to be joined by artists Chitra Ganesh and Sang-Hwan Kim, who are both contributors to the collection and have been writing letters to each other for more than 20 years. So that should be interesting. On Wednesday, April 28th, we are bringing back our professional development program called Table Dish, and this one is going to focus on music. It is a career roundtable event that brings together 6 industry insiders who dish out information to help you succeed in your career. So when you sign up, you're able to meet with 3 different professionals for 30 minutes each in small groups of about 3 to 5 people. So you can ask questions and build your professional networks, get inside dope. We've got really amazing music industry insiders to give you advice on topics ranging from licensing to branding to finding a manager to landing gigs. So that'll be up on our website very shortly. It's a really great program. We've done it in the past around theater and visual arts. And so I'm excited to for the music program. That's April. May is bonkers busy. As you all know, it's APA Heritage Month. So we've got a bunch of stuff percolating, but here's what we're about to announce or have announced already. On Thursday, May 13th, we are participating in CAPA's annual APA Heritage Month celebration. CAPA is the Coalition of Asian Pacific Americans. And they used to do a festival, but because of COVID, we're doing the festival online. And we are presenting a program that we're calling Asian Americans in Jeopardy. And it's a virtual game show experience with every category relating to Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. And our host will be the hilarious Kate Rigg. And we'll have contestants playing for the charity of their choice. So it should be a lot of fun. It's only an hour. So I hope you'll join us on the 13th. It's going to be online. Our next town hall will be Tuesday, May 18th, and that's going to be also a celebration of all things Asian Pacific American. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. And so on Thursday, May 27th at noon, we'll be hosting a program with licensed creative arts therapist, Megu Kitazawa. So we hope you can join us for that. We'll have a description about that on our website shortly. And finally, you have one more week to support A4 by showing your pride and purchasing a limited edition Year of the Ox t-shirt designed by Manyi Yao. So the link to that, you can find that on our website. If you want to know more, here, let's see, I think I can drop the link, or someone can drop the link in there. Great, thank you. So happy you have it. Miley, I'm glad you love it. There is the link. Okay, so that's the end of the program announcements. It's a lot of stuff. So as always, thanks to our supporters at Capital One, Con Edison, New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, in partnership with the City Council, the New York State Council on the Arts, with the support of Governor Andrew Cuomo and the New York State Legislature, National Endowment for the Arts, and the Tiger Foundation, and so many generous individuals for making Town Hall possible. So if you want to be among this list of supporters, or you want to test out our new and improved text to donate function, you can text A4, the letter A, the number 4, the word donate, A4 donate to 202-858-1233. And you can pay with Venmo, Apple Pay, or just regular credit card. So, so that's that. Okay, before we start, I'd like to offer a very brief land acknowledgement, because before the pandemic, we would be meeting in the A4 offices, which are on the unceded lands of the Lenape and Canarsie peoples. But since we're meeting virtually, I would like to share a digital land acknowledgement that has been written by Canadian theater artist Adrienne Wong, as we're all occupying different physical spaces. So since our activities are shared digitally to the internet, let's also take a moment to consider the legacy of colonization embedded within the technologies, structures, and ways of thinking we use every day. We're using equipment and high-speed internet not available in many Indigenous communities. Even the technologies that are central to much of the art that we make leave significant carbon footprints, contributing to changing climates that disproportionately affect Indigenous peoples worldwide. I invite you to join me in acknowledging all this, as well as our shared responsibility to make good use of this time, and for each of us to consider our roles in reconciliation, decolonization, and allyship. So now I'd like to introduce our first featured presenter, Ximena Garnica. Ximena is a Colombian-born immigrant artist based in Brooklyn, who works in the visual and performing arts fields as a multidisciplinary artist, choreographer, director, curator, and teacher. With her partner, Japanese artist Shige Moriya, Ximena is the co-founder and co-artistic director of the arts organization LeMay and the multidisciplinary performance group, the LeMay Ensemble. She is also the spark and muscle behind the Cultural Solidarity Fund, which she'll share a little bit more about tonight. I give you Ximena. Ximena, are you ready? There you go.
Hi, Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. Okay, this is good. Thank you, everybody, for joining here today and sharing the space and virtual space and time with me. My name is Ximena Garnica. Like Lisa said, I'm an immigrant artist from Colombia. I'm wearing a black hat, a light rose colored top, long black hair. I have white skin, and my background is an image of one of our works featuring the LMA ensemble as a virtual background. I will say that I would like just to start by playing this 2 minutes video of our works, and then I will share more things with you all. I think the video is not playing. Is that so?
Oh, it was playing.
Um, it's 2 minutes video. Okay, let me. Priscilla, are you there? Should I try to play it myself?
Yeah, I'm here. Just give me 1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll replay it.
Okay, thank you so much for playing that. I wanted to start with some of the artistic work being shared with you all, because a lot of what I'm going to share about activism, about resource sharing, about helping each other, mutual aids, ideas to organize and create some political change. It's because the love that we have for our work, for creating together, for imagining together different ways of being, for being curious about the unknown. And through being curious about the unknown, then we start finding out who are we becoming all the time. So I work with my partner of 20 years, Japanese artist Shige Moriya. We create performances like the ones you saw. We also do trainings, publications, and other projects. And everything that we do, we are always looking for some sort of circulation of relationalities to try to open cracks in which question of being, perception, interdependency, and coexistence can be triggered. And hopefully we can then open the possibility of action or transformation. We lived in this converted garage in Brooklyn, a live work space that has been built with our hands, where we lead the company that is an international company with dancers from Japan, Paraguay, United States, and many other countries that have passed and be in our space and in our lives. And we cultivate sensitivity to ma, the Japanese word of ma, the in-between space. And I'm telling you all these details because the way we merge and collide these Eastern and Western backgrounds, and we unpack our Eurocentric views and our non-Eurocentric views, are ways that are affecting how we are trying to create different changes, and the powers that are pulling us apart or bringing us together. We see ourselves and our home cave and the ensemble LeMay as a kind of knot or a cluster in which there are threads, and sometimes those threads pulling us apart, and sometimes they keeping us together in what we call the entanglement. So I never really saw, like, our subjects of our piece are not really based on activism, let's say, there's this other bigger existential questions of being. But in order to do that work, and if we, there are things that have happened in our life, crises that have happened in our life that make us act upon. And one of our big crises we had was in 2014. We were about to lose our space, and we realized that the only way that we were going to be able to keep this live work studio was to change a law in the state level. So we start becoming and learning how to become citizen lobbyists. Is that word I learned. And I was very lucky to have met these amazing mentors that are now in their 80s and late 70s, advocates of affordable housing in New York City, the ones who were part of the movement of live work spaces in the Soho back in the 70s, and really learning the history of the live work spaces in the city. And then I don't know, the power of saving our community, of the love of doing all these, throw us into a 5-year battle that we thankfully won. And we don't only save our home and our space, but we managed to save hundreds of other spaces in the city. This just happened in the summer of 2019. And our space was, our legal battle was officially won last year, right before the pandemic was announced in February. So this is all new, and we were really excited, and we were like, okay, we are ready to continue just in our craft. And then the pandemic comes, and we realize that we are still in this financial fragile situation. I know you saw all these amazing works and like in nice venues, but a lot of this is self-produced. It's really us figure out how we partner with organizations, with institutions, but we do a lot of the muscle of like how we make this work happen. So we are used to help each other, to, like, we call it the stone soup, right? You bring the water, there's no soup, you put a stone, and then somebody come and put the potato, and another cut the carrot, and then suddenly everybody comes and you have a soup. So thinking this way and seeing how can I help my community. I don't have really resources and money, and people needed money for rent and for food. So I was inspired by a lot of the mutual aid groups. And then because I was having access to places that I usually don't have access, but because of Zoom, there's a lot of meetings with institutions and organizations. And because I'm also an executive leader of my own nonprofit organization, I'm able to enter these spaces in which other leaders exist. And I thought, oh, there should be some solidarity among institutions. They should have a cultural solidarity fund and raise money and give micro grants, emergency grants for artists. And that's how the Cultural Solidarity Fund started. We just last week managed to give our first 200 mini grants to 500 people. And we had a tremendous, it's very sad because we had too many applications, 2,722 applications, and we only had money for 200 people. So we are now very deep in the works with this amazing group of leaders that are really about caring and solidarity in action, trying to raise funds to see if we can award the rest of the grants, but also trying to incentivize change in a larger systematic level so that funds like these can exist, not just because of COVID, but all the time. And then lastly, I think I'm looking at my clock. Lastly, we also realize that artists are left behind sometimes. You know, there is a lot of relief and support for not just artists, let's say the cultural sector in general in our country is devaluated. And then there's people, I know we're going to have the second speaker doing amazing work and at the federal and national level. And these days I'm just like, okay, how can we as artists also empower ourselves? Because there is sometimes a relationship of paternalizing us, like just wait, everything is going to be we fix it for you. But how can we also find ways in which our voices can be heard? Sometimes we have to be loud in protest. Sometimes we have to reflect and think and just share solutions. And that's what we are doing right now. I'm trying to ally with different local leaders. I will put some links on the chat so that you can all take some sort of a part on this change, on this transformation. There is crisis, sometimes there is immediate response. Then our choice is, do we save ourselves only, or do we together save each other? And I think we always at LeMay have cultivated this, we together save each other. And I want to leave you with a quote that like the universe sent us. I was thinking, what kind of special thing can I say today? And then the universe sent the words of one of ancestors, a figure of the Asian American movement, Grace Lee Boggs. And I thought there was a conversation online, and I just transcribed some of her words. And she said, the time has come to us to reimagine everything, to reimagine work and go away from labor. We have to imagine revolution and go beyond protest. We need to reimagine revolution and think not only of the change of our institutions, but the changes we have to make in ourselves. So I think it's a inside outside approach. Sometimes we have to take change from the inside and have a personal revolution. Sometimes we have to look at what are the outside powers affecting us, and then tackle those outside powers and create systematic changes, go all together. So thank you so much for having me here, and thank you all for listening. And I'm looking forward to all the rest of the evening and learn of the wonderful work that you are all creating. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ximena. That was beautiful. What a perfect way to end your presentation. Thank you for all of the work that you do. It's so inspiring, and you embody that spirit so much. So we're very, very grateful. I am also excited now to hear from our next group of presenters. Okay, so your names are in the chat box. So on deck, Miley, Jay, Mckee, Zhang Gao, Jessica, Josue, Nisha, Donna, Ashley, and Natasha. I've got my timer ready. Miley, are you ready?
Yes.
You are ready. Okay. You have 1 minute. Let's go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Maile Ho. I am the artistic director of the Layerism Experiments. It's a collective of 9 street and club dancers, musicians, and MCs. You're about to see an excerpt of our newest production called Switch. And at the moment, we're waiting, or we're hoping for additional residencies and support to finish the work. Thank you.
Thank you, Miley. Great. Okay, our next presenter is Jay Julio. Jay,
Hello.
you ready?
Yes. So
Go ahead, start.
okay, awesome. Thank you. Hey everybody, my name is Jay Julio and I am the head of Sound Off Music for Bail. I'm here with you to share a concert that we're giving in collaboration with the Justice Committee. We are honoring Richie Perez, co-founder of the Justice Committee, which grew out of the Young Lords, a primarily Puerto Rican group inspired by the work of the Black Panthers. And we have a really amazing cast of players from New York and from Puerto Rico playing, as well as two speakers, Martha Laureano, who is Richie Perez's life partner, and Hortensia Peterson, who is the aunt of the late Akai Gurley, who was killed when a stray bullet fired by Peter Liang ricocheted in a stairwell. We are so grateful for the chance to collaborate with them, and we're so happy to promote Asian, Latinx, and Black solidarity through this. Funds donated will be given to the Justice Committee in their great work. I also am speaking at the Juilliard School the same day at 1 p.m. So come, yeah, just let me know. You can see all my contact right there. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Jay. Next up is Mckee Werner. Mckee?
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Mckee, and I am the program director for an organization called Virtual Culture. We are a digital catalog of free and remote cultural programs for New York City public school students. The core part of our commitment to ensuring equal access to world-class cultural programs is our partnerships. With more than 40 partners, including the Met, New York City Center, and Mark Morris, we're offering a centralized platform so that any teen can easily connect with classes and workshops in art, dance, film, activism, theater, STEM, and more. We're always looking for more partners. By including more organizations and classes in our catalog, we can serve more teens and their creative interests. Right now, we're putting together a catalog of upcoming spring and summer teen programs, thanks to funding from the Pinkerton Foundation. If your organization has free virtual programs for teens, please get in touch with me. If you know any teens, educators, and parents who could benefit from our catalog, please tell them about Virtual Culture. I'm going to drop our email address, website, and Instagram account in the chat as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mckee. Next up, we have Zhang Gao. Sean, you ready?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Are we ready?
Go ahead.
My name is Sean Gao, a Chinese-American violinist, educator, producer. I'm the producing director and composer for the new American musical called Shanghai Sonatas. I'm in a blue shirt and in front of a University of Delaware background. I'm a professor here, the alma mater of President Joe Biden and Dr. Joe Biden. Please see the website 3-minute trailer and everything in chat if you want to collaborate with us. Shanghai Sonatas promotes Asian American rights and genocide Holocaust awareness from a total new perspective. So in 1939, a group of Jewish musicians, refugees, went to Shanghai. The only place that accepted them. They taught the first generation of 60 million Chinese classical musicians in the world, including many Asian American musicians you see in youth orchestras, major concert halls, competitions, everywhere in the world. I'm getting support, sadly, because of what's happening in the world. I just received a $3.5 million for a national tour of this musical. I'd love to collaborate with you, get advice from you. 4 Broadway producers are moving forward to put this on Broadway for total success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on that amazing gift. Next up is Jessica Park. Jessica, are you ready?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica. I'm production manager at Korean American Story. Just wanted to let you guys know we have a live storytelling competition coming up. It's going to be virtual on Zoom and live streamed on YouTube, and it's a free event. So it'll be on April 30th. And basically, we have 6 Korean American finalists do an oral performance of their Korean American story. And this year, our theme is My Taboo. And the meaning behind that is just, I mean, we all know in Asian American communities, there's a lot of unspoken taboos that we try not to talk about, but we think, you know, now more than ever, we want to talk about them and hopefully empower Asian voices and experiences through this event. Winners get cash prize up to $1,000. They also get free LG wireless headphones sponsored by LG. And if you know anyone who would be interested in submitting, our deadline is next Tuesday. So I'll put a link down in the chat below. So yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, next up is Josue Caceres. Josue, are you here?
Hi, everyone. My name is Josue Cáceres. I am a professional musician and producer, founder of Panda Music. We created this project when I realized that a lot of my friends, musicians, they were leaving the city or having a hard time. So the ultimate goal for this project is help and support local musicians, also giving them the opportunity to have a professional material for free as audio, video, photos. They can walk away from the shows with a professional material to expose themselves to the world. And we're having like concerts, 2 concerts every month, featuring like local artists in New York. And we stream the concerts, and it's really, really nice. And I invited you to support us and get involved if you want, if you're a musician. Send me an email so we can schedule like a concert with you. We have a small crowd that can assist the shootings. Also, we have a project in the World Trade Center, music sessions. So get involved, and it's a big project. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you want to drop your contact information in the chat box, Josue, so people can reach out to you, that would be great.
I will right now.
Fantastic. Next up is Nisha Pradeep. Nisha?
Hi, this is Nisha Pradeep. I'm a practitioner of Indian classical dance and also the director of Takaju. I love dance and storytelling and have used both these abilities of mine to create, to represent various themes from mythologies to women empowerment. My idea is for an Indian musical in collaboration with other Asian art forms that can reach a wider audience and break many of the stereotypical representations about our Asian community and show the real deep wisdom that our cultures impart and bring to this world. My past collaborations with OMNY Taiko was very well received across stages in New York as well as New Jersey. And I am really looking forward to be able to collaborate with other artists and other groups. So if you're interested, please do contact me. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Nisha, if you want to drop your contact information in the chat box, other people will reach out to you if they want to collaborate. Okay, next up is Donna. Donna Walker-Kuhn, are you there? I saw you here earlier, Donna. Are you here? Are you muted? You're muted.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. This is the host. Okay. You can hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay. African-American woman, brown skin with locks. I have a red sweater, red glasses, red earrings. I like red. I'm very happy to be here on behalf of Signature Theater. I am a board member of Signature Theater, and we have launched a very aggressive and dynamic equity, diversity, inclusion initiative. We find it very important to make this commitment, and we have advanced forward I think in a really important way. So I just wanted to share briefly some of the steps that we've taken. You can see it here. Signature Theater is committed to becoming a more just, equitable, and anti-racist organization. And we're responding directly to We See You White American Theater, the letter that was sent out, and we're taking it step by step. So the first thing is our Board of Trustees, which I am a member of, and I chair the Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Committee. We have established meetings which are bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks, we are meeting to be able to unpack what is our behavior, what is our culture, and what governance can we provide to the theater itself. We've also looked at our artists and productions to see what efforts that we can make there. We're going to be transparent with the work that we do. And then for our audiences, really making sure our efforts are inclusive, that we bring equity to everything that we do. And we have some upcoming programming that we're excited about. Lynn Nottage is leading. And so this is an exciting time for Signature, and we're really going to be an anti-racist theater. That is our focus. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Donna. If you have information about Signature's actions that you could share.
Oh, yes, it's on our website.
Okay, great. If you want to drop that in the chat, that would be
amazing.
I'm sure people are very curious because you're setting an incredible example for other theaters.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Ashley, are you ready?
Ready. Good evening, A4. Good to meet all of you. Okay, spoiler alert, there is little to no diversity in children's books. That is why today I'm so stoked to share with you the ABC Digest, which is a board book collection designed to bring more flavor and representation to the ABCs. Our first book is Tasting Chinatown, and it pays tribute to the community we know and love as well, ABCs, American-born Chinese. And in it, you'll find big, colorful illustrations, all done by my very talented artist husband, Jeff. And I wrote all of the fun fact descriptions to celebrate Chinatown's greats, everything from boba to congee, and then D for durian, which of course is my favorite fruit. It's truly, truly a labor of love. So if you're hungry for more representation and would love to help support us, please sign up on our early access list on our website. We're going to be starting pre-orders soon, and we'll give priority access to folks on that list. So please sign up, tell a kid or even buy one for yourself, and please reach out for collaborations.
Great, fantastic, Ashley, thank you. Why don't you drop the link in the chat so people can sign up to get on that list and buy books? Okay, next up is Natasha. Natasha, are you here?
I am. Hi, thanks, Lisa. Amplifying Activists Together is a grassroots effort that I co-run for folks who live, work, or play in New York who want to take action towards progressive and radical movements. So if you sign up, you get 5 emails a month with Zoom links. We meet Fridays 1 to 2. Basically, we need a New York that supports all of us, right? Black folks, Asian folks, workers, including arts workers, in solidarity with other workers. So we contact our reps, phone, email, social media, whatever. And our whole vibe is to plug into what the day in, day out activists are already calling for. They know best, right? So we walk you through all of it. We share one step-by-step Google Doc with the phone numbers and calling scripts that you need. We talk you through it, and then we all do it on mute all in an hour. That's what that taking action is if we do it regularly enough. So I'll put in the chat an info and sign up link and the recent American Theater article. So if you're, feeling helpless, enraged, if getting Trump out wasn't enough for you, you want to support trans rights and tax billionaires, invest in the community, like all of that stuff, really calling for justice. This is a way that you can do this for 1 hour every week. So I'll put those links in.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Natasha. That's great. In fact, I loved all of those presentations. Everybody's doing such great work. That's why you're all sharing tonight. So our next featured presenter is Brooke Ishibashi, who is the founder of, or one of the founders of Be an Arts Hero. Brooke is a 4th generation Japanese-American actor and singer. She originated and developed the role of Neri in Cambodian rock band, which I was very excited and fortunate to catch at Oregon Shakes. And she is passionate about exploring anti-racism, social justice, and transgenerational trauma. So Brooke, you ready?
Yeah.
Great, we're looking forward to hearing from you. Take it away.
Oh, terrific. Thanks for pulling that up, Priscilla. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. With everything that's going on in the world right now, it's really incredible to be in this space with all of you. So thank you, Lisa, for inviting me. So Be an Arts Hero, what are we? What are we here to do? What's everything about? So back in June of 2020, myself and three friends, we're all arts workers, we're actor, writer, singer, producer, director folks. We looked at each other, we were a couple months into the pandemic, and we were like, surely someone's gonna come on their white horse and save us all in the arts and cultural sector. Where's Lin-Manuel Miranda and Steven Spielberg? They're gonna save us all, right? And it was like crickets and nobody came, and rightfully so, because it's not their job to come save us. And so we looked at each other and we realized, okay, well, maybe we've gotta become the heroes that we're waiting for. And so this started the seedling of Be an Arts Hero. We were born out of a desperate need during this crisis, out of the circumstances of the pandemic. And so when we began last June, it's only been about 9 months or so, we were thinking, okay, well, what's the need? Obviously, there's great human need, there's great economic need. What are we here to do? What's the problem? We realized that our sector is so vast. I'll get into that shortly. It's so huge. It's so many different industries that we're all siloed off into our own individual lanes, right? So we thought, what if we could become the Arts Avengers Assemble moment? What if we could create the Voltron, the Captain Planet force, where we become the unified force that brings together rank and file blue collar arts workers who can stand shoulder to shoulder with arts and culture leaders, with institutions, with union leaders, with celebrities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was missing. So we thought, okay, well, maybe we can become that change, that unifying force. What we realized once we started taking meetings with Senate and House rep offices is that they told us that there was like a stack of 16 different arts and culture related bills in a pile collecting dust, because lawmakers were confused because everyone was advocating for different things. And so we realized, there's an area of opportunity there. We need to get everyone singing the same song from the same sheet music. So that's how Be an Arts Hero started. So I'll get into the facts. If you talk about the arts and cultural sector, it's the creative economy. It's 5.1 million jobs. It's over 673,000 local businesses. Local, I say local because we are big business, because we're local business. We're in every state, in every region, in every county, in every city of the entire nation. And that's 4.5% of GDP, $877 billion in value added to our nation's economy. Long story short, without us, there will be a systemic economic collapse. That's just the facts. So you can go to the next one, please. This is just like a map breakdown of the numbers. So 4.5% of GDP doesn't sound like a lot, but if that evaporates into thin air, if that disappears, America's economy is screwed. We're seeing a domino effect that's already started happening in the last year since the shutdown occurred, where we're seeing ancillary businesses, we're seeing other ecosystems that are getting impacted by our shutdowns. And that's for a lot of industries, that's irreparable. So it's 4.5%, while it may seem small, is epic. It's Herculean when you talk about how much we contribute to the nation in terms of being an economic driving force. You can go to the next one. So if we're comparing to other industries, so we like to talk about airlines because they're doing a lot of things right. So the top 10 US airlines through the CARES Act, they got $50 billion, people. They got $50 billion, right? We got pennies in comparison. So if we provide $265 billion more to the nation's, in value added to the nation, then all of transportation combined, and 10 US airlines alone got $50 billion in the CARES Act, there's something wrong. Clearly, something's wrong, and our advocacy groups, the conversations are not the right conversations. Something has to be changed, right? So it became very clear to us looking at these numbers that we need a seat at the table. There is a Secretary of Transportation, there is a Secretary of Agriculture, there is no Secretary of Department of Arts and Culture, but look at these numbers, y'all. There's something wrong there, right? So Be an Arts Hero looked at these numbers and we realized, okay, well, we have to change this conversation. And the first thing to do is to start educating people so we understand our economic value, that we say arts worker because we're we're a labor force, and we're not treated as a labor force, and lawmakers do not treat us as a labor force. So I think there's sometimes where we feel diminished as artists, as arts workers, because people tie an association to us, you know, in that we're starving artists and that we should just be lucky to be doing what we love. But if you think about the numbers, y'all, these numbers are unimpeachable. If you just think about how much value we add to the nation's economy, how other ancillary ecosystems rely on us in order to survive, those numbers are unimpeachable. That's the facts. So, you know, the idea that the arts have become partisan in this country, it's a bunch of baloney, in my opinion. I think, you know, we go into these Senate and House rep offices and we talk to lawmakers and we say, we just give them pure economic impact reports. And we say, this is how much the arts and cultural sector, the creative economy brings to your state, brings to your regions. Without us, you're screwed. And none of them argue with the numbers. And we've had dozens of Republican lawmakers tell us that the numbers are unimpeachable, and who have agreed that this is a nonpartisan issue, who have told us when we went with a dollar amount through our legislation, the Dawn Act, Defend Arts Workers Now, we asked for $43.85 billion using the airlines as a model. And a handful of Republican lawmakers asked us if that was enough, given the economic impact reports we gave them. So this is all testament, folks, that the work that you do, who you are, your value as an arts worker, it is colossal. You are a part of one of the greatest economic drivers in the nation, and that cannot be ignored. So we can go to the next slide. So let's talk about the size and the scope of the problem. So we're looking at a humanitarian crisis and a systemic economic collapse. Y'all know the humanitarian crisis of it all. You know, 63% of arts workers are still fully unemployed due to COVID-related unemployment. You know, that's nearly 2.7 million of us in the nation. Myself, my friends, we've all lost our health insurance. You know, we're waiting to see if we can get signed on to the COBRA subsidies now, because the American Rescue Plan has passed. We have folks who were not able to afford life-saving medication because of their loss of insurance, because they were getting their insurance through their employers. We're looking at folks who got evicted from their homes, folks who are not able to pay for groceries and their day-to-day expenses, who cannot afford to stay in their homes. So the humanitarian crisis of this situation is not lost on any of us. I think all of us have been impacted, and all of us know people who have been severely impacted. It's not over yet. We're still in the thick of the crisis. And so in this respect, you know, it's important to highlight that the pandemic was already killing Black and brown people at higher rates than everybody else. And the consequences of the pandemic now, rates of eviction, folks who are losing their health insurance, rates of unemployment, it was also disproportionately negatively impacting Black and Hispanic communities predominantly. It's important to highlight this because as we work towards relief and recovery efforts and that legislation and future funding, that we do everything we can to remove barriers to access for the folks who are suffering the most. You can move forward. I think this might be the final one. So we got a lot of work to do. You know, luckily through ARP, as I said, the 100% COBRA subsidies happened. You know, unemployment benefits, an extension of $300 through September is not enough. That's not enough to pay my rent. I don't know if anyone on this call can survive on $300 a week of unemployment benefits through September. For us, you know, our sector was the first to shut down, will be the last to reopen. And for many of us, we don't have jobs to return to for the foreseeable future. So we have a lot of short and long-term goals because there's simply a lot of work to be done. I think it's dawned on all of us that we need successive waves of relief and recovery legislation to get us through in order to sustain the human and the physical infrastructure of our sector. Otherwise, the human toll will rise exponentially. We'll lose more and more institutions that will not be able to reopen after the crisis is over. So what we're asking all of you to do, and this is the call to action, is raise your voices and demand those successive waves of relief and recovery legislation. You can go to our website and beanartshero.com, find more ways to get involved. We are working on Defend Arts Workers Now and putting creative workers to work in tandem with Americans for the Arts and a coalition of hundreds of arts organizations. You can put your support behind that. You can tell all of your friends to raise their voices. For us, it is simply about knowing our worth educating folks so they know their own worth, demanding our worth with our lawmakers, and holding our lawmakers accountable. In closing, we say there can be no American economic recovery without a robust arts and culture recovery, because our fates are so intrinsically tied together. So I urge all of you to educate yourselves. Please get in touch with all of us. Go to beanartshero.com and our social media at beanartshero, and find out more ways to get involved. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brooke. That was amazing. And those are unimpeachable statistics, and everybody should know that information. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak up to our own lawmakers and learn from your example. That's just really inspiring. And hopefully we'll be making a difference very shortly, because we all need it. All right, so our next group of pitchers on deck. Are you all ready? We're gonna start. Let's see, do we have the list to paste in? Oh, I was supposed to do that and I messed up, sorry. We'll share that. We'll put that in the chat, but we will start with Yayun Tang, Eileen Chung, Ramon Gill, Amelia Lim and Farah Jabir, Marissa Hamamoto, James Bu, Rob Laki, Kaoru Ikeda, and Cha Si. So you all are on deck, ready to go, I'm sure. Thank you for dropping that in. And we will start with Yayun. Are you ready?
Yes, I am, and very happy to be here today. Thanks, Lisa. My name is Yayun. I am from Flushing Town Hall, and tonight I want to let everybody know that we're going to have our second years of the program, Crazy Talented Asians and Friends. So on April 17, which is a Saturday at 8 p.m., we're going to have a bunch of very funny Asian American comedians. The theme is going to be triumphing over quarantine. So you're going to see live stand-ups and pre-recorded sketches that all look back at last year through the lens of comedy. The program is free, and you just need to RSVP on our website, and our website is flushingtownhall.org. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Eileen, are you ready?
Yes, good evening. My name is Eileen Chung. I'm an art therapist and artivist based out of St. Louis, originally born and raised in New York City. The sun is still there, even behind the clouds, is an exhibit encompassing the voices of 4 women of color as a meditation of profound mimicry for anyone who has ever experienced desperation during desperate times, and how cultivating the art of patience provides the narrative for mapping how we might as a people move towards our future. I'm going to stop my video just in case my audio cuts out. Sukanya Mani is an interdisciplinary artist with a passion in science, anthropology, and philosophy. Kiki Salem is a St. Louis-based interdisciplinary artist advocating for Palestine. Niala was a 5th-generation Chinese immigrant who has grown up in Wuhan, Houston, Honolulu, and currently makes love and works as a carpenter in St. Louis. And Daniel McCoy is an artist, mother, educator, writer, co-creator of Artists in the Room and one half of Work and Play. We are looking for a home for our exhibit and currently have a proposal and budget with the Mid-America Arts Association. It was originally a curatorial proposal designed for Q, and I just debuted the 2nd volume of the Witch Report, which I will include the contacts in the chat.
Great. Thank you. Please do share the information so people can see the images at their own leisure. And if you could drop that in the chat, that would be great. Thanks, Eileen. Next up is Ramon Gill. Ramon.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, everybody. My name is Ramon Gill. I am a longtime supporter and member of Arts Alliance. My first job back in the 90s was at the Arts Alliance. And I now work for a startup that offers free virtual spaces for organizations, nonprofits, artists, educators. And if you want, you can just play the video with no sound, and I will just explain really quickly. Basically, you're in a virtual environment where you can socialize and move around and talk to different people. Yeah, you can talk to different people, and you don't have to go into breakout rooms in order to have a personal conversation with somebody. You can just move around the room and talk to whoever you want. I will put a link in the chat. We're used a lot by educators right now, and a lot of we're useful. A lot of people are using our space for parties, reunions, trade shows, conferences. But it's also great for performances. It's great for networking. It's great for workshops, and basically, and it's free. So, and I'm here pitching this because I'm a big believer in community and connecting with people, and that's exactly what this company does. Thank you.
Thanks, Ramon. We were having a little bit of trouble with the video.
That's okay.
So if you could drop the link in the
That's
chat,
okay.
people can check it out. Is that, you said it's good for performances? Like, is the sound, is it meant for like sound, music, concerts and things like that?
Yeah, we've had people do talent shows within the space.
Great.
So,
amazing. All right, can't wait to check it out. Next up is Amelia Lim and Farah Jabir.
Hey guys, hi.
Hi, you're here. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, you go ahead and start.
Hi, my name is Amelia Lim. I'm Farah Jabir, and we are the faces behind Ingrain New York, which is a video portraiture series and a digital archive dedicated to uplifting the multitude of diverse narratives that's often been overlooked under this umbrella term, Asian American. And so we are both independent filmmakers, and we started this project in response to the recent wave of anti-Asian hate, much before the Atlanta shooting. We've been doing this for the past couple of weeks, and we've been going around New York interviewing different people from all walks of life.
And it's super important to us to like sort of represent a very diverse intersectional depiction of what Asian American means. I mean, looking at me and Amelia right here, we look so different and we're both Asian. And so that's sort of been very important in our sort of like mentality going forward. And we are also an ongoing video portraiture series, and we're always looking for people to meet, people to interview. We're building a community with this project, and we will exist online as a social media platform and on our website, as well as eventually, if COVID permits, have a physical exhibition space where we can invite everyone who's participated. So if you guys want to be involved or know anyone who would be great for the project, please reach out to us. Our email's there, and we'll write it on the chat as well, because we'd love to meet you and hear your stories.
Great. Yes, please drop it in the chat. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next is Marissa Hamamoto. Marissa, you ready?
Yes. So hi, I'm Marissa. I'm fourth generation Japanese American. I'm an LA-based dance artist, stroke survivor, and founder of Infinite Flow, which is a professional dance company composed of dancers with and without disabilities, with a mission of dismantling stereotypes and promoting inclusion. A couple weeks ago, People magazine named me as one of 13 women changing the world, next to Stacey Abrams, Amanda Gorman, and past recipients Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris, among others. And I'm proudly the first dancer and dance company director to receive this recognition, and also proudly Asian American. I don't know how I got this award. I've definitely had a very alternative dance career. I've partnered with many different brands, including Adidas, Apple, etc. But what I do know is this: I survived a stroke, multiple sexual assaults, body shaming, PTSD, discrimination as an Asian American, and fought my way through building a career as a professional dancer, and devoted my last years building this dance company. And I'm building a community of creative change makers and artists who want to use their arts for change. So if you're interested, please just go to my website and subscribe.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Marissa. Can you drop just your website information and contact details in the chat box so people can reach you? That would be great. Next up, James Boo. James.
Hey, I'm James. I'm a producer at Self-Evident. It's an audio show where we tell stories from Asian American communities to explore what it really means to claim America today. So you can hear the show wherever you get podcasts, or you can go to our website. Could we go to the next slide? We recently rebooted our listening party program, which is basically where anybody can sign up to gather folks in their workplace, in their campus, if they're a student, or in their local community, gather to listen to one of our stories in a structured environment and just have the chance to talk about the underlying issues. Can we go to the next slide? And we've really just learned a lot from people who have done this on their own and then kind of helped us learn what's valuable about it. And what we've learned is that this can really help create a space for sharing personal experiences and strengthen relationships with people that you actually do spend a lot of time with moving forward. So it's especially impactful in the workplace. And if you have an employee resource group or an affinity group for Asian Americans, then please just, check it out, get in touch with us, and maybe you can host your own event. And I'm going to leave a couple links in the chat.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, James. You got this down to a science. Okay, next up is Rob Mckee. Rob, you ready?
Indeed.
Go right
Hi.
ahead.
All right. Hi, my name is Rob Mckee, and I am coming to you from the traditional lands of Lenape, otherwise known as Manhattan. I am a creative producer and one of 8 co-originating members of the Industry Standard Group, or TISG. We are here to create more access to financial participation for BIPOC investors and producers, disrupt and change the opaque norms of the commercial producing industry, and support and cultivate BIPOC investors and producers as well as their projects. The organization's stakeholders will be exclusively from self-identifying BIPOC communities. By expanding the network of people investing in theater, we will be diversifying the pool of commercial entertainment ventures overall and building a new industry standard. Please visit us on our website and find us through our social media channels to find out more about supporting and participating with us, the Industry Standard Group. Thank you and have a great evening.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rob. By us, for us. Okay. Next up, Kaoru, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. You're on deck. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Kaoru Ikeda. I'm a dancer, choreographer, educator, and artistic director at the Mustache Cat Dance. Mustache Cat Dance is a dance company that uses the art to mirror human nature to audience, bring awareness to the social issue and abandon history, and contribute to the change at the grassroots level. The past project, we created the dance work Freedom Isn't Free, which was inspired by the concentration camp experience of Japanese Americans during World War II. We use our Asian appearance and reconstruct on the stage the Japanese American experience from the 40s to now to connect what happened almost 80 years ago and what is happening now through live performance. We believe that witnessing history through a live performance as a moving history can deliver a more powerful message than just reading textbook because it allowed the audience member to more directly connect with their personal feelings. So our AAPI communities are facing very challenging time more than ever. I strongly feel that now is a time to raise our voice through creation more than ever as an Asian women artist. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. Carol, if you want to share information about any projects that you have or your contact information in the chat box, that would be great.
Sure.
And then last up in the tonight's group of pictures is Chasi. Are you ready?
Hey everyone, thank you so much for A4 for inviting me. I'm Chasi, one of the co-founder of Sea Lighting Foundation, and I've got a video for you. Check this out. Thank you.
Uh-oh, no sound. Try that again.
If you have earphones on, you might need to take them out.
Yeah, I took them out. Hold on a second.
Priscilla, I would stop screen sharing and make sure the share sound box is checked.
Mia Nishikawa from Japan.
Hi, I'm Rodrigo Munoz from Mexico City.
I'm Chasi from Manila, Philippines, co-founder of Sea Lighting Foundation.
SLF is a grassroots fundraiser committed to giving monthly $500 microgrants to immigrant theater workers affected by COVID-19 theater shutdowns.
We have raised more than $140,000 since June of 2020, and we are still raising funds up to this day to help our community.
Please help us spread the word and visit our website, sealightingfoundation.com, or follow us on Instagram, Sea Lighting Foundation.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I love this. People coming together, like mutual aid for artists and arts workers. I just like to give a great big hand to all of our presenters tonight. There was so much amazing information and actions that were shared. We are going to break out now into smaller groups so that you can learn a little bit more about what each other are doing, ask more follow-up questions, and then we'll come back. So we have about 10 minutes to get to know each other a little bit. And like I said, I will break you out into smaller rooms. And then if you wanna switch rooms, just send me a message and I will move you around. So here we go. Thanks, everybody. I just want to thank everybody for sharing tonight. That was great. I'm going to do a couple of pictures. Oh, but before I do, yes, anybody who would like to do a pitch, you have 30 seconds. So Michelle, you have, if you would like, anybody else can just message whether or not they would like to do a 30-second pitch. I will start the clock in a hot second. Give me a minute to get myself organized here. Okay, Michelle, are you ready? Maybe you're on mute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, go ahead. You got 30 seconds.
All right, so a friend of mine is supporting efforts to paint a public mural in New York City to address anti-Asian, anti-racism sentiments and hold a space to represent the Asian community. So the ask is, if anyone knows someone in New York City willing to donate wall space, please let me know. Needs to be a flat surface, no roll gates, ideally 10 feet by 10 feet, ground street level, and in downtown Manhattan, Chinatown, Lower East Side, or East Village. I have a deck. Someone's raising their hand. Oh, neat. I have a deck that has more information, and I'm doing this pitch on behalf of someone else who's working with the artist directly. So
okay,
that's all I got.
Yeah, why don't you share that? I think Georges, you wanted to give a 30-second pitch. Is that what was up? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
It's you're on, George.
Hi, my name is Georges Bridges. I'm from the Asian American Film Lab. Huh?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry?
Yes, you're on.
Hi,
go
my
ahead.
name is Georges Bridges. Hi, my name is Georges Bridges. I'm from the Asian American Film Lab. We promote ethnic and gender diversity in the film industry. We're looking for collaborators. Get in touch with me. Contact connections at film-lab.org. My information is in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm sorry I had such a tech fog brain tonight. I appreciate you bearing with me, but we had so many amazing artists and activists and role models and just inspiring people doing inspiring work. So I'm super grateful to all of you. Before you leave, please remember to fill out the survey. If you want to be in touch with anybody here at A4 or anybody that you met tonight, you can email me, lgold@aaartsalliance.org, or Priscilla. Our contact information is also on the A4 website. So we look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work, make a donation at aaartsalliance.org so we can keep doing this stuff and supporting the community. So thank you all so much. It's been great being in community with you all tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Lisa. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you.